Hello, this is Hamaha. In this video, I will show how exchanges liquidated me for $1 million in just 10 minutes. What happened, why it happened, and what I'm going to do next, all in this video. Let's start by reviewing the accounts. I became part of one of the largest and most abnormal liquidation events. Many of my accounts are now at zero. Hundreds of thousands of dollars disappeared on each account, despite the leverage being very low. I want to emphasize very low leverage. Some positions had stop losses, some didn't, but the way positions were flushed out and liquidated was a complete disaster. I'll now show one of the typical accounts I traded over the past few months, and traded quite successfully. Positions were taken with 2x leverage, just 2x. Pay attention to the prices at which I was liquidated. A 70% price move in 10 minutes. For example, an entry at $0. 88, liquidation at $0. 35, another entry at $3. 25, liquidation at $1. 20. The exchange executed liquidations at the absolute lowest wicks. What's most surprising is that while this was happening, I tried to open spot long positions at the very bottom on multiple exchanges. Just like many of you experienced, I couldn't open any longs or buy anything. The price was crushed, instantly bounced back. All liquidations happened at the lows, and now the price is trading far above those levels. Here are the results from this account over the last 90 days. What strategy was I using? I entered trades with small leverage, and as soon as the market moved in my favor, I immediately moved my stops into profit. This approach worked for me over the past 6 months. In my view, it was the only thing that worked in the current market. Most instruments move very little, 15, 20, 30% at best. I always entered on pullbacks at lower levels, using 2x, 3x, or sometimes 4x leverage depending on aggressiveness. For 6 months, this strategy worked consistently and delivered solid profits. Another account, a liquidation of $382,000. I started this account with $100,000 about 6 months ago. Over 6 months, I grew it to $380,000, and it got liquidated in just 15 minutes. 6 months of work wiped out. The liquidation prices were also very interesting, to put it mildly. A drawdown of more than 50% in a very short period of time. Whether there were stop losses or not didn't matter. A forced flush happened. My strategy was working and did not involve extreme risk, but a fraudulent sequence executed by the exchanges destroyed the account. Let's move to another one. Another $500,000 was wiped out in 10 minutes. The situation was almost identical. What's especially painful is that this account had the highest performance of all. I started with $50,000 and grew it to $706,000. More than $1 million was burned in front of my eyes in just 10 minutes. Now let's break down how this actually happened, looking at the proportions on the 1-minute charts. For example, an asset trades calmly at $7, and within 10 minutes it spikes to $50. Inside their future systems, exchanges liquidate positions at the absolute lowest prices, after which no one can buy anything back. Accounts stop working, balances drop to zero. Then the price recovers, not necessarily to the highs, but it recovers. And that's it. The exchanges simply rob traders in the most blatant way. I've been trading for many years, futures, crypto, everything, and I have never seen anything like this. Then the price recovers, not necessarily to the highs, but it recovers. And that's it. The exchanges simply rob traders in the most blatant way. I've been trading for many years, futures, crypto, everything, and I have never seen anything like this. Then the price recovers, not necessarily to the highs, but it recovers. And that's it. The exchanges simply rob traders in the most blatant way. I've been trading for many years, futures, crypto, everything, and I have never seen anything like this. Right now, I'm demanding action. I'm raising noise and pressure, stating clearly, if exchanges failed to provide proper liquidity, which they are obligated to provide, then they effectively scammed their clients. The money remained with them, and they have every obligation to cancel these trades and return funds to users. Back in 2010, when I was trading stocks, there was the flash crash. Algorithms triggered chain reactions. Markets fell by 80–90%, and those trades were canceled. Everyone, winners and losers, was returned to their original positions. The same must happen here. If it doesn't, then consider your users gone. Back in 2010, when I was trading stocks, there was the flash crash. Algorithms triggered chain reactions. Markets fell by 80–90%, and those trades were canceled. Everyone, winners and losers, was returned to their original positions. The same must happen here. If it doesn't, then consider your users gone. And then everything gets erased in 10 minutes. Such a market is interesting to no one. No one needs it. There's very little money to be made on spot now. This spring, I had many close conversations with exchange representatives and top management. They were convincing me to promote futures trading to people, to teach them futures trading. They kept pushing futures trading, arguing that spot liquidity is low, while futures have plenty of liquidity. Leverage, shorts, everything is great. And what kind of liquidity did you actually show in the end? For 6 months, 24/7, I traded futures, grew accounts, and showed people that it's possible, that it works. And then you take top-tier assets and wipe everything to zero due to a complete lack of liquidity, at prices that are simply unrealistic. What do you expect from the industry after this? If you don't restore everything as it was, you will lose the entire industry, you will lose your clients, and you won't attract new ones anyway. This market is already extremely difficult and hostile. I'm not even talking about how many scams you list, or how much money people have lost on spot and long-term holding over the past few years. And then you deliver this final blow. This black swan is the beginning of a bear market. There will be no such demand or volumes anymore. No one wants to come here to trade. Your charts literally make me sick now. If anyone has connections in traditional markets, please share them. I want to trade stocks. I'm done with this manipulation circus. You can't provide proper instruments, and in the end, you wipe everyone to zero. I've already spoken with exchange representatives. So far, their response is, well, it's your fault. You didn't define your risks. What risks? I was trading with 2x leverage, doing nothing aggressive. So why was my account wiped to zero? Even where stop losses were in place, the result was the same. If there's no liquidity, how exactly is a stop supposed to be executed? At the prices where you executed them? No, thank you. I have zero interest in stop executions and liquidations. Printed at the very bottom wicks. I consider this situation outright fraud, and something must be done. You are responsible for providing liquidity. These were top 50 assets, not illiquid small-cap scams with no volume. Top 50 instruments with multi-billion-dollar market caps. So why did they drop by 70% or more in just 10 minutes? Just look at these candles. What kind of wicks are these? From $0, 40 to $0, 17. From $3, 50 to $0, 70. Look at this. What is this supposed to be? And why were all positions liquidated at the absolute lows? Why couldn't I buy at the bottom? If everyone supposedly had equal and fair conditions? It seems that those who dumped coins on spot had no issues. Everything worked perfectly for them. They sold, then bought everything back at the lows. But not from your clients, whom you apparently decided to finish off and effectively kill this industry. This was a cry from the heart. I'm stepping away. This may very well be my last video about this market. I'm leaving it for now. If compensations happen, fine. If everything is fully restored, I may return. But I'm not ready to trade under these conditions. And it's a good thing I didn't onboard many followers into this. Otherwise, the same thing would have happened to all of them. A scam-like scheme involving your favorite whale friends. That's it. There will be content about futures later, about traditional markets. If I ever trade futures again, it will probably be shorts only. I have no desire to deal with you anymore. Good luck.